Welcome to Veggies and Herbs. I'm Robin Malale. Now, winter might be here, but the garden is not slowing down. Over the past couple of months, we have been transitioning the garden from summer garden into a winter garden. And there's a lot of growth to share. And I'm also excited to share the type of crops that you can still plant in June. So without further ado, let's dive in. Now let's start with the leafy greens, the easiest crops to grow in a winter garden. So if you remember, you have been following along, a couple of months we planted some spinach in this garden, and today is harvest time. So spinach is an easy crop to grow. It's a quick growing crop. We planted some, and now it is harvest time, So some of the crops that we planted in this container, they germinated, but I just want to harvest some of the spinach that we planted in this raised bed. So other crops leafy greens that we also planted definitely include some Swiss chard. There are different varieties, and now Swiss chard is also one of the staples in many South African gardens. So definitely Swiss chard is also an amazing leafy green to grow. Kale is also another powerhouse that is also perfect for winter garden. So I'm also harvesting some of the kale that is growing in my jungle garden. So if you are interested to still plant some leafy greens, these are some of the options that you can definitely explore. But they are great for winter garden, easy to grow, and they are quick growing crops. Please let us know what leafy greens are growing in your garden. Now next, we will be moving underground to look at some of the root crops. So carrots, we planted some, they germinated quite well, plus the ones that we have planted earlier in the month. We will just be thinning out some of the carrots in this section of the garden just to allow them more space to grow adequately. The ones that I've sown with the radishes, as you can see, the radishes are coming out nicely, and the carrots also germinated. So this month, I will just be planting some Persian variety just to ensure that I have a continuous supply of nice carrots throughout the winter season. Some of the ones that I have planted in my raised bed are growing quite nicely, and I think I'll just pull some out to see how they're doing. So they're looking quite good. So carrots is definitely one of those root crops that can do pretty well in a winter garden. Now 2 months ago, we also transplanted some beetroot. I think they are ready to be pulled. I started them in February and then transplanted them, I think, 2 months ago. They've grown quite nicely. So the good thing about beetroot is you can consume the leaves and the root. So beetroot is very much similar, related to the Swiss chard family. So as you can see, the leaves are looking beautifully, and you can definitely use this also in your cooking. The ones that we sowed last month, they germinated quite nicely. So beetroot is also another root crop that you can also plant this in the month of June. Now this month I'm trying out something totally new when it comes to root crops, and that is parsnips. Now, remember in the previous video, I argued that parsnips is not ideal for small gardeners with small space and beginner gardeners because it takes so long to germinate, and it takes also long before it is ready for harvest. But I'm so curious to see how parsnips will perform. So I am starting some parsnip seeds off indoors in the seed trays. The only reason why I'm doing that is because of the fact that parsnips take so long to grow, so I want to put them in a controlled environment to increase the chances of germination. Now, the reason why I'm planting them in newspaper pots is to ensure that I transplant the whole pot into the garden. This will just reduce transplant shock because root crops have a taproot, and they are not doing well when you transplant them. So I'm excited to see how these parsnips will perform, how they will germinate, and I will definitely give you an update in future videos. Now winter is brassica season, so we planted some brassicas, which include broccoli, 2 months ago, and I was away for a couple of days from the garden, and when I came back I realized that the cabbage butterfly is having a feast on my leaves. So I managed to remove them, put them in water, soapy water, and I will just be monitoring the plant to see how they will perform. So I still have some seedlings when it comes to the broccolis that I will be transplanting. So the 2 that I've planted last month, they're also coming along quite nicely. I will just be adding additional brassicas to the garden. So in a raised bed, I will be planting some of these broccoli, Also have some of the cauliflower, different colors that I'm experimenting this year, as well as some cabbage seedlings that I will be transplanting. But yeah, like I said, that winter is brassica season, but they can easily be attacked by pests like aphids and cabbage caterpillars. I'm hoping to make a video to share with you some of the things that I'm doing this year to prevent my garden from being affected by these common pests. Now, when it comes to the legumes, we've been do some planting of peas. So here in my jungle garden, the peas are starting to grow nicely. They are developing some flowers. The ones that I've also planted here, the Aragon variety, which is primarily used as a dry pea, they are also growing quite nicely. I'm happy with how they are growing. Last month we transplanted some peas, so I see they have germinated quite nicely. So I'm very excited for that. So what I'll be doing this month is just to plant next to this trellis another pea variety or batch of peas. So succession planting is just ensuring that you plant and then you can stagger your planting, and then you can also have a continuous harvest. So you will notice that every month I've been planting some peas. That will just ensure that I'm having a fresh supply of peas as the season is progressing. And when it comes to the broad beans, you remember last month we also planted some broad beans. Yeah, so they have germinated quite nicely, and they are long season crops, so I will just allow them to grow on, and later on I will put some support to prevent them from getting blown over by the wind. But so far the winter garden is in full swing. I'm just also going to plant additional cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, just to ensure that there's backup. As I indicated, pests can come into your garden, devour some of the stuff, and throw your plants off. So I will just be starting off some additional brassica seed to ensure that I have a fresh supply of seedlings in the event the weather come for them or any of the pests. Now, when it comes to the alliums, they are slow growers. So you remember I planted some garlic, I think 2 or 3 months ago. Now in the Western Cape or in any place that receives their rain during winter, garlic can be affected by garlic grass. So I'm just making sure that I am trying to prevent my garlic from getting affected by this disease. So I will just spray it with some copper soap. This is an organic treatment that you can apply on your allium plants to prevent garlic grass. So this here, the rain has started in my area, so I just want to pre-treat these plants to prevent them from getting garlic grass. When it comes to the shallots that I planted 2 months ago as well in April, they are starting to germinate. Man, I was getting worried because I did not see them. They did not sprout for weeks. But I'm so happy to see that they are starting to germinate. As you can see, they are sprouting, and I'm relieved. Yeah, so I'm totally happy with the shallots that are emerging or sprouting in this bed. Now this month, I managed to get the onion sets. So like I indicated previously, you can grow onions either from onion sets or from seed. For me, it is much easier to do it from onion sets. So I managed to get these onion sets. So my plan is to start them off indoors, just to give them a head start. I have noticed last year that the germination or rate of the ones that I planted directly in my garden was not so good. So to increase my chances, I will this month start them off in these trays, and either next month or later in this month transplant them into the garden. But yeah, so these are the onion sets. I've been waiting for them. They were very scarce. I was looking for them in different nurseries but couldn't find them. But I'm so happy that I managed to find some onion sets. So I'm just starting them indoors, and I will definitely transplant them next month or later in the month of June. So I'll be planting some potatoes also. I had a lovely harvest last year. So let's go ahead and plant some of these potatoes. Yep. Now, if you find this video helpful, give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, and please let us know what are you planting. Thank you so much for watching. Keep on sowing and growing. Peace.